All right, let's get into it. The internet is filled with some really strange rabbit holes, but what we're looking at today, this is something else. We are going on a hunt for the ghost in the machine, and we're going to try and make sense of some of the most bizarre, cryptic text fragments I have ever seen online. So it all starts with little bits and pieces like this. At first glance, you think, okay, it's a typo, right? A glitch? Maybe a weirdly remembered song lyric? It's basically nonsense. But it's got this strange little rhythm to it, doesn't it? Bith in a mind or a tomorrow. Kind of catchy. And then this pops up. And not just once. This phrase, squawky quee, shows up more than 20 times in a single source, just over and over again. Is it a sound? Is it some kind of code? It feels almost playful, like a digital bird call or something, but it definitely makes this whole thing even weirder. And then we get this one. Lola Man is a Lola Man. This one is so close to making sense, which is what makes it so frustrating. It has a real structure, a syntax, but the actual meaning, it just completely slips away. It even introduces these characters, Lola Man, Mona Man, but then tells us absolutely nothing about them. So that's the big question, right? What on earth is going on here? Are we looking at random server errors? Little scraps of forgotten text messages? Or is it something else entirely? To figure this out, we have to stop looking at them as just individual weird things and start hunting for the patterns. And believe it or not, our first major clue is comfort food. Yeah, when you actually start to organize all this chaos, a theme starts to pop out. And it's surprisingly delicious. Okay, so check this out. When we pull out all the fragments that talk about food and line them up in a table like this, a really clear signal emerges from the noise. You see the dish pie and chips over and over. Then, next to it, under location, you've got these weird, nonsensical contexts like earned, drinned, and arrayed. But here's the wild part. Look at that last column, reported status. Every single time it says, doing well now. All of a sudden, this isn't just random static, it's telling a recurring story. And this is where it gets even weirder. Look at the tiny change here. In one source, it's arrayed, and in another, it's arraired, with that extra ed. Now that tiny little difference, that could be a massive clue. Is it just a typo, a transcription error, or is the data itself evolving? It suggests this isn't just static text, but something alive and maybe a little broken. And pie and chips isn't the only thing on the menu. We also find chicken dippers, this rhythmic little chant of mark and cheese, and this one, which is just strangely poetic, ham gone far. The food theme is undeniable. It's like a ghostly menu that's just been left behind in the data stream. All right, so we've got food, but what about the people? Let's switch gears here. It turns out this ghost data isn't just haunted by snacks, it's also filled with echoes of names and even one very specific real-world place. You see, suddenly this whole thing has a cast of characters. We've got Reg and Gray, Graham and Reggie, and of course our friends Lola Man and Mona Man are back. But then, bam, a real place. Meanwhile, in Welshpool. This one little phrase grounds all the nonsense in reality, if only for a second, and that just makes it all feel even more uncanny. And if you thought Welshpool was specific, get a load of this. This is probably the most extreme example of a human echo we found. Not just a name, but a full, very, very specific title, repeated like some kind of mantra. I mean, why the Archbishop of Canterbury? We have no idea, but the repetition itself, that's another huge clue. And that brings us to our third major pattern, rhythm. So much of this data isn't really trying to communicate information at all. It's all about repetition, rhythm, and sound. It feels less like text and more like some kind of weird digital chant. I mean, this chart just lays it all out for us. Squacky Quee shows up 21 times in its source text, 21 times. The Archbishop, 5 times. Reg and Gray, 4 times. This is not accidental. This repetition is a core feature of whatever this thing is, even if we don't know the purpose. And some of these phrases, they don't even feel like they're trying to be words anymore. Choo-choo woo-woo, that's a train, right? Roid, hello Roid, sounds like some strange robotic greeting. We're moving beyond language here and into this realm of pure sound, almost like a machine that's trying to sing a song it doesn't quite remember. So let's recap. We've got comfort food, we've got a cast of characters, and we've got this intense rhythm. We've analyzed the patterns. So now, the million-dollar question, what in the world could be creating this stuff? Let's walk through 3 plausible theories. Okay, theory number 1. Could this be a glitching AI? Maybe a language model that's just breaking down and getting stuck in these weird repetitive loops? Theory 2. What if this is a form of digital poetry? Maybe an artist is intentionally creating these strange, evocative fragments. Or theory number 3. Are these just scraps of human conversation? Little snippets from text messages, online chats, or maybe voice-to-text transcriptions that got all mashed together? Each theory explains a piece of the puzzle, but not one of them really explains the whole thing. Whatever the source actually is, we can at least give this whole phenomenon a name: ghost data. That's really what it is. It's the digital residue of our world. These fragmented, anonymous, and deeply weird pieces of information that just sort of haunt the corners of the internet, left behind by both machines and people. So, why should we even care about all this digital nonsense? Because I think these fragments, as broken and strange as they hint at entire stories that are buried deep down in all that static. I mean, just take this line. It's maybe the most haunting one of all. Ham gone far and all I'll find it Al. Is it about lost groceries? Is it about a person? A pet that ran away? The truth is, we'll never know. And that ambiguity is exactly what makes it so powerful. It's like a tiny 6-word poem about loss and searching, just found in the digital wilderness. And remember, this wasn't just found in 1 or 2 weird files. The phrases we've looked at were pulled from 13 separate but related sources. That tells us this isn't just some isolated glitch, it's a widespread pattern. Which really just leaves us with this final, lingering question. We spend so much of our lives creating and consuming data, but most of it is so clean, so curated, and polished. This ghost data is a reminder that just beneath that perfect surface, there is this whole other world of broken, half-formed, and forgotten stories. So you have to wonder, what else is hiding out there in the static? What other ghosts are just waiting to be found?